Hello, welcome. Part 2 of our confrontation series is here, and I'm really excited about this one. Should you confront someone? Boy, we ask this question a lot to ourselves. Should I confront that person? Should I say what's on my mind? I'm angry. What do? I need to say something, don't I? I'm here with some guidance, some tips, and I'm going to give you 3 ways that you might be able to use to help you decide whether you should or should not confront someone. Welcome. Let's get started. Stay tuned to the end of this video for a bonus tip regarding confrontation and whether or not you might want to take the steps to do it, or maybe you don't. So I'm Justin. I'm a master communicator, a certified yoga instructor, and the creator of this channel where we explore ways to strengthen ourselves, find peace, and most importantly, find freedom in our lives so we can go forward and live the lives that we really dream about without things weighing us down. And a lot of times what can happen in the yoga practice is we get into it in a physical way, and we get into poses, and we're breathing and we're meditating, but yet we walk out the door and we do the exact opposite of what we were just working towards while we were in there. So I'm really trying to bring some new meaning and some new light to how this can all be all-encompassing for your yoga practice, and maybe for something you didn't even know was yoga that you're actually practicing. Your real-world examples. Today is confrontation, part 2. Should I confront someone? Here are some ways, some things that you can use to help you decide whether you should or not. So let's start with number 1. Well, I call this a cost-benefit analysis. A cost-benefit analysis is something that we do a lot of times in businesses. You may be doing this, you do this when you're budgeting things out, maybe you do it in your personal budget. Is it beneficial for me to buy this? Is it beneficial for me to invest in this? Relationships are the same, my friends, they're the same. So when we do a cost-benefit analysis, let's use an example of someone who you're in a relationship with someone. Maybe it's a partner, maybe it's a friend, and something happens that shakes up the trust. It could be, if it's a romantic relationship, it could be cheating. If it's a friendship, it could be lying, or it could be betrayal. It could be sharing things that weren't meant to be shared with other people. So something could have happened, and you have to make a decision on whether you should confront that person, or maybe if it was a partner relationship, would it be confronting the other person? So I like to tend to do a cost-benefit analysis here. Remember, in yoga, we're practicing nonviolence. So we're not looking to get revenge on folks. We're not looking to seek out harm. What we're looking for is really more of practicing nonviolence, and it starts within ourselves. So that's where you do the cost-benefit analysis. Is this going to be beneficial for me? If you are in a relationship where your partner is cheating, is it worth it for you? Is the relationship worth it for you to confront the other person or to confront your partner? That's up to you to decide. Generally, what tends to happen when we do a cost-benefit analysis is we bring ourselves out of our emotional state and we bring ourselves into more of a logical state. And I talk about this a lot on this channel, where we tend to focus on using our emotions rather than our logic. And when we use our emotions, we're speaking out. We're not thinking of how we're speaking. Things just come out because we're speaking from emotion, not from the actual logic, not from who we actually are. So what would be the benefit of confronting a person who's cheated on you? You have to decide what the cost is. Is this going to cost you your whole relationship? Another question you can ask yourself is this relationship really working? Another question you can ask yourself is my friend, is my partner giving me what I need in return so that I should confront and fight for this? Those are the questions, and you may not have the answer to that today or tomorrow. It may take time. That's why working through it without emotion is a better tactic than working through it with emotion. Working through it with emotion is going to come from our ego. But coming from a place of logic is a lot different. Then we start to treat people with a lot more dignity, respect, humility. So it's all about the cost benefit of that. So the first step is always doing a cost-benefit analysis. Is this worth confronting someone over? Is this going to benefit me in any way? Is it going to benefit the relationship in any way? Not, is it going to benefit the other person in any way? That's not what we're looking for here. We're looking for, is it going to benefit or help me or the relationship? Because in order to help the whole scope of things, the relationship, you have to help yourself first. So that's step one. Step two is, what place does this person hold in my life? What place do they hold in your life? I like to look at everyone as twofold here. There's two types of people out there, generally, right, for the most part. People that are going to raise you up, people that are going to help you, people are going to lift you up, they're going to provide a benefit in your life. And then there are those who are going to bring you down. They're manipulating. They are out for themselves. You know, if you were looking, and we're not judging people on a scale here. We're not saying, okay, you're a 10 of a person. That's not it. It's figuring out where that person belongs in your life. If they belong in your life and they're really doing things that are lifting you up and helping develop you and pushing you to the next level, it might be worth having a conversation with them. If they're not, the confrontation may not be worth it. So that's the second step you can take a look at. The third step is, what are your personal goals? What are they? What are your personal goals? Are you a person who can take what has happened and shift your own behavior? Are you someone who can take a look at what is happening in the other person and decide, should I continue the behavior that I'm currently in and let it affect my life negatively or positively? An example of this would be this. Let's say you have someone in your life who is saying one thing or is speaking words and saying things to you. And then when they turn around, they do the exact opposite. You have to assess your goals first. And this goes back to the cost-benefit analysis. Where does this person, it all builds up to this. What are your personal goals? Are your personal goals to make everything right with everyone around you? Or are your personal goals deciding which confrontational fights could happen? Arguments? Screaming matches? Is the other person going to lash back out? What are your personal goals? Can you move forward without constant bickering or yelling or fighting? Can you move forward by backing up a little bit from the other person? Maybe putting them at arm's length, because every time something is said from their mouth, they do the exact opposite. Remember, we have to take what people say and do at face value. Because if we are trying to assume what they're doing or saying, then we are putting ourselves into anxiety mode. Not them, us. We're putting ourselves into anxiety mode. The goal here is to decide, is it worth it? Is it going to benefit me? What's the cost involved? What place does this person hold in your life? If they work with you and they're just a work colleague, then that's all that they are, is a work colleague. If they're your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, friend, whatever it is, and they hold more meaning and you have a rich relationship with them, that requires more meditation, more contemplation, more backing up into nonviolence than just completely reacting into confrontation mode. And here's the bonus tip for all of you. The less accessible you are, the less confrontation will happen. If you make yourself accessible to everybody all the time, you are opening yourself up for constant influx of energy coming at you, coming at you, coming at you, coming at you. And then people start to become, they feel like they can tell you everything, and people might start to become so familiar with you that you begin to take on their issues and their problems. And remember, the only person you can really, truly, and fully understand is you. So if you are making yourself so available for everyone, you're bound to come into an emotional confrontation moment. The less accessible you become, the less confrontation that comes. And that's, I don't mean shutting yourself off from everybody and closing yourself off in your house. I mean, say only what you need to say. Speak when you only need to speak. If certain people if you find that every time you speak to them, they come back with you with a passive-aggressive remark, or they're not practicing nonviolence themselves, then arm's length it becomes. And you become a gray rock. Gray rock's a term that we sometimes use when we're talking about other people who you can't emotionally invest in. So you're just kind of you're blank, but you have some emotion, but you're not investing in that anymore. Because the more you invest, the more confrontation could happen. If you like videos like this, if you want to know more about what are some other ways, some red flags, some issues that you're facing in your life, leave them in the comments below. Also, don't forget about one of my favorite apps. I love sharing this with people. It's called Acorn. And Acorn is an app that allows you to put your money, little change that you're investing from your debit card that you're spending, and it just adds up over time. Sign up below and you'll get free money just by signing up and starting an investment. Take care of yourself. Don't confront your money. Confronting your money can be scary as well. I'm so glad we had a few moments together today, and please give this video a like or a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It really supports everything we're doing here, and I can't wait to see you all soon in our next video regarding confrontation.